What's going on, moms and dads? Welcome to the Fade You podcast, the sports betting show for the everyday bettor. Whether you're a total degen, whether you just want a little action, we're glad you're here hanging out with us, and we love having you here. It is Wednesday, April 5th, and we're here to catch up with all the dads. We're here to talk about what happens when the sports calendar turns to April and what we're looking forward to here. So thanks for joining us. My name is Matthew James. Have the dads with us, a cavalcade of dads. Got Kmart here, got Chris Duke here, got Joe in Fresno here. Joe's loaded up on red wine. Fresno's treating you well, Joe?
Yeah, Fresno's good, man. I've been all over the valley this week, but yeah, Fresno wine. It's awesome to buy some grape juice with Fresno State Bulldog all over it. So shout out the enology program at Fresno State.
Chris, you're well familiar with the enology program. Shout out Nick in Napa.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, we miss those Thursday nights of tasting all the vines. $5 for students, $10
I remember
for adults.
Good times, man.
Quickly in college, when I spent a few months at Fresno State, my roommates knew I was an English major and well versed in the written word. And I remember Nick in his enology program had an essay, and he's like, "Will you read my essay? Will you edit it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And it was about fucking soil and dirt, and it was one of the most boring things I've ever read in my life. I was like, "What the fuck? You had to write a paper about dirt and soil and shit?" And Nick got an A on his paper. I'm proud to say.
That's awesome. Hey, dude. People sleep on Fresno State. It was the first accredited enology program in California. So suck it, everybody else.
I believe there are only.
I think UC Merced. Yeah, I think Merced has one. But yeah, everybody's sleeping on the valley out here.
Very underrated school, Fresno State, for many reasons. So anyway, we'll get to it. If you are watching this on YouTube, first of all, thank you. We appreciate it. If you miss a YouTube show, you can make sure you get it in podcast form. So make sure you are subscribed to the pod, get those new episodes when they drop. And if you are listening to this, make sure you know you can watch the video version of this on our YouTube channel. We will link the YouTube channel in the pod description. So make sure you get both. Helps us out, helps support the show. And we love all our followers dearly. And we look forward to a good spring here in the spring sports season. And as we get into spring sports, we want to put a bow on college basketball and tidy up the NCAA tournament, which wrapped up on Monday night. Congrats to UConn. Congrats to the Four Idiots show. That is Kmart, Joey Cheese, Chris, and Neil. If you were to go back and listen to their bracketology show from before the tournament started, the dads were all over UConn. Epic call. You guys absolutely nailed it. UConn dominates the tournament. They win every single game by double digits. They go 6-0 ATS in the tournament. And Kmart, I mean, in the comments, they want you to have their babies.
I just saw that. I laughed my ass off.
And do you want to speak to the Four Idiots show? I mean, you guys absolutely nailed it. All the dads. Joey was just so hardcore on UConn, and he was right every single time. So, I mean, what do you guys? What you want to take your victory lap?
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Joey. Obviously, I mean, he called that out in February, and I didn't really know who I was gonna pick. I kind of wanted to keep watching. Watch the tournaments. See how they're gonna handle. And I don't remember when, but early March, I was trying to find it on our site, and I couldn't. I started freaking out, like, "Oh my god, did I miss it?" And the bracketology show was great because we didn't talk beforehand. We just kind of went straight in, and all three of us were like, "Yeah, no, we have UConn." We didn't even talk about it. We just kept moving them forward. And it was just fun listening to Joey, like even in our chat, champs moving on. It was just, I missed it already. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do in the next 5 months before football starts. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, no, it was great. I don't think I've picked a winner since I think UConn won it all in 2011 or I think Ohio State. I can't remember when they won. Maybe it was 2012 with Greg Oden. But yeah, it had been in a drought.
2014 also? I don't know.
Yeah, UConn.
Chris, you want to take a victory lap on behalf of Joey and the Four Idiots show?
No, yeah, it's awesome. I know him and Trigg they saw the value. It's always nice when you can get a team at 26-1 at that price in February. I mean, it helped, and the reason why I liked it is because they had that little like weird run in January where they were losing a lot of Big East games. So you love that because that builds the value back up. Again, we're lucky we got a 4 seed. If they win that Big East and don't lose to Marquette, then they probably are like a 2 or 3 seed. So that worked out for us that we got a shittier seed, and then the teams like UCLA going down and Kansas going down. I don't think it mattered because UConn was clearly, ready to take on anybody in that tournament, and it was nice. It was fun. It was cool to actually keep betting on them. I had them against Miami. I had them against Gonzaga, against Arc. So not only did I have that future, I just pressed. It was just fucking was just pressing.
Yeah, I think we bet on them every single week. Like even against Miami, the only time I didn't was, in the championship. I thought I could win both, and then it was instant regret. But it's fine. The nice 17-1 ticket, can't complain.
It's interesting that UConn is the champion because I'm thinking to things that we talked about earlier. So one, on our show recapping the first weekend, I remember asking you, Kyle, I said, do we overrate conference play when we look at how some of these teams have performed in the tournament? And UConn's a good example of a team that, didn't they have some bad Big East loss? Did they lose fucking DePaul? And they kind of stumbled there in the middle. They had that lull. They were amazing out the gate. And then they in Big East play kind of tripped up a little bit. And that's why they ended up getting a 4 seed, like Chris said. And so it's a good reminder, when teams go on little bad runs in January and February, they can play their way out of those come March, and UConn certainly did. And the other thing that I think about is before the tournament started, we did a podcast where we talked about, all right, what's the best version of this tournament? Is it the one where there's a ton of upsets and it's crazy and chaotic at the beginning? Or is it where the best teams advance and you get the storied programs at the end? And anybody who pays attention to the tournament knows this one was just, it was a complete mess, right? FAU in the Final Four, San Diego State in the national championship game. No 1 seeds even get to the Sweet 16 or to the Elite 8. No 1 or 2 seeds, right? So great for UConn bettors, but was this a good tournament? Joe, as someone who isn't super into college basketball, did this championship game?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's ask Joe because they asked the same question on Follow the Money, and they were giving it a C. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? As a poop better, this is fucking A+." I want to know what Joe thinks.
Well, I don't really like basketball in general, so I was not interested. I could not give less of a fuck about the championship game. Didn't watch the Natty. Didn't watch 1 second of the Natty. I was watching hockey and baseball. But I think Will Compton had a great tweet that Matt sent me the other day, actually yesterday morning. It said, March Madness has to be the only tournament that gets less interesting as the longer it goes. It's like a bachelor party. The energy is off the charts day 1, but by the end of the weekend, you're ready to get it over with. And I completely agree because I honestly, I tailed Joey, I tailed Kelly, I tailed Chris on a bunch of bets, but I didn't watch shit. It was uninteresting for the most part. Week 1 or first weekend, all about it. But yeah, this past week or so, couldn't give a fuck.
So what happens? And I guess does that really matter? Because I think Joe probably is a little bit more representative of most people who, following college basketball every single day, it was impossible for me this season. And I don't think most people can do that. Diehards definitely can and probably love the tournament and love all the storylines. But do you guys kind of see where Joe's coming from is in that the tournament peaks that first weekend and then it loses momentum as it goes?
But I'll be honest, Matt, I for me, the casual fan, I know it's not good for us betting it, right? But like having no blue bloods in there was kind of uninteresting to me. If there would have been a Duke or whatever the fuck, big swinging dick teams going on, I probably would have tuned in a little bit. But a fucking final of SDSU and UConn has no juice on my end. I was just like, I could not give a fuck less.
Yeah,
Well, I think it was the lowest. It was the lowest rated final, right? Ever? Did I read that?
Wouldn't surprise me at all because there ain't nothing I'm tuning in for there. I could not care less.
I mean, honestly, I was telling the guys in our chat, if it was FAU Miami, I wasn't going to watch it. I wouldn't have given a shit. So yeah, I mean, I think it's different for us because we had UConn, and it was San Diego State's a cool story, just like being so close, blah blah blah. But it's similar to what you asked me. Do we want upsets? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with a couple in round one, but it was crazy because I think in my bracket I had 13 out of 16 in the Sweet 16, and then I think I had 2 in the Elite 8. Like it just died, and then it was just UConn. So
yeah,
I agree. I do kind of agree with Joe. I mean, Scotty's best tourney in a decade. Like there were moments that were great, but like there's usually so many shining moments, and it was really just San Diego State hitting the buzzer beater to beat FAU. That was the only buzzer beater. FAU or Furman, had a couple seconds left on the still. That was chaotic, in the first round. I mean, Purdue losing to Farley Dickinson. I mean, that's crazy, but you don't really want to see that. Like, I would have liked to have seen Purdue play and get upset by, I don't know, an 8 seed.
FAU.
Following
That's
round.
the thing. Yeah, that's so funny. We should do a poll, maybe, Matt. Everybody give us your rating, because I was just gonna say I love seeing Purdue go down. I love seeing Princeton fuck up Arizona and keep going. And
I hated that.
I'm like, hell yeah, 15 seed, go, like make a run. Like I love to see it. So because it's like it's just such a story. It's called March fucking Madness, and if there's not madness, it's like it just becomes like NBA playoffs where it's like the better team should win. So I love seeing the guys that put in all the work. They're seniors. Maybe this is their last time they'll ever play. They come together as like a double-digit dog and knock off a fucking big team, like Joe said, maybe a Kansas or a Duke or Zona. I don't know. I think it's cool, but I bet poop. So
I bet poop.
Right,
So.
like I said, Chris, in that instance, yeah, it's great to bet on, but as far as like a fucking thing I'm gonna sit down or like arrange my night of TV watching over, there was no fucking chance that was making it on the TV.
I mean,
Kmart. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the best games was Michigan State, Kansas State. Like overtime. I mean, that game was just back and forth in the last 10.
Well, yeah, that one had some juice because I was in Vegas and I was sitting in the sports book.
Say you were what?
That was
Sweet 16, Elite 8, whatever.
Yeah, I was in Vegas for all those in a sports book, but I mean, fuck, if I was at home with the wife, I ain't going, hey, let's put this shit on. There's no fucking way. There's no way.
I think Kmart made a great point. I mean, one of the best moments of the tournament was the San Diego State buzzer beater against FAU, right? The only problem with that is the teams are San Diego State and FAU, and there's got to be enough juice to the matchup. Right, exactly. So anyway, it's all over. I mean, great for UConn. It was 5 championships in
24 years.
Wait, let's talk about what's the NFL comparison. Remember that question I asked?
That was a great question.
We were debating. Because obviously I don't know shit about college basketball. I was like, what if you were going to compare this championship game to a Super Bowl? What would the two teams be? And Chris said, what? What did you say, Chris? Vikings, Texans?
Yeah, well, I said Packers, Texans. I was trying to think of one who had won a little bit, and I think Matt, obviously, the Steelers was a little better because they actually have some, Super Bowls in the last, 20 years, like UConn does. So I thought he was right with the Steelers and the Vikings, because the Vikings are kind of like SDSU, like they're always decent, they just can't get over the hump. So that's a pretty good one.
So we're going with Steelers, Vikings, Super Bowl. That's the comparison.
I think that's a good one.
That's a good one. I mean, what's another NFC team that's
Cardinals?
The Cards
out of nowhere.
Yeah, but the Cards are historically known as just being losers. I mean, they've had their moments, but
Don't
I mean,
talk
I'm just
Steve
thinking
Warner that
recently,
way.
like, because they were in the one. I mean, they probably should have beat the Steelers.
I like
Whatever that was, 2011.
I like the Steelers. I guess they're in the same. Well, never mind. I was say Steelers.
I was saying
Jags,
Lions, but like Matt
but,
said, Lions are historically dog shit. But
and SCSU, I mean, not all our listeners live on the West Coast and know West Coast basketball. They've been better than Deese for a long time now. I mean, that's a really good program. Joe, are they going to make it to the Pac-12?
Probably not because they suck at every other sport other than basketball.
I don't know. Their football program,
they beat Arizona,
right? Like,
dude, they have about 19 fans in San Diego to go to those football games, so they're not going to the Pac-12.
And Carson,
I don't know. I think obviously the two LA schools are leaving, and add San Diego and Fresno. Boom.
It should be Fresno and Boise, but I think Boise has other plans.
We shall see. All right, college basketball over till next time. But fun tournament for definitely for our dads that had the action on UConn. Fun tournament for us. So, but check out the 488 show. Everybody, I mean, those guys do a great job. Like I said, I was a little bit more checked out of college basketball this season than many other seasons, and you guys picked it up and ran with it and did an incredible job all through the tournament. So hopefully we got some followers and some fans from that, and look forward to next time. Baseball. Joe, what's going on with baseball so far?
Dude, it's I'm gonna say it is a much more watchable product. I mean, look, dude, fucking Sandy threw a complete game shut piece yesterday. The game was under 2 hours long. That's
crazy.
On Monday, 15 games, 14 overs. So I don't know if anybody fancies an over, but yeah. And then they're split a little bit yesterday. I haven't really checked today. I released my first shit report today. Went 3-3 plus 0.1 units. If you want the shit report, you got to get in a group chat. It's very exclusive. So, but yeah, baseball's been awesome, man. It's there's a lot of aces that have been struggling. A lot of closers have been struggling a little bit with the time. Lots of stolen bases. Dude, it's just a better product on TV, and I think this is going to be a resurgent season for baseball. I think it's going to, when people come back to it, like my wife checked it out the other day, and she was like, wow, this is a lot better because an inning is not fucking 20 minutes long. It's, 5-10 minutes long. It's great. I think it's awesome. Good for baseball and good for everything in general.
Do you notice, Joe, when you're watching on TV, and I'm looking forward to watching a game, I'm going to be in San Diego late next week. We're going to go to a Padres game, and then the following week, we're going to be at an Angels game. So I'll see a couple games here in the next couple weeks.
Oh, thanks
for
the invite. Appreciate that.
Do you notice?
I don't want to go to an Angels game or anything.
Do you notice the absence of the shift when you're watching on TV?
Yes. Yeah, there's a ton of just base hits right up the middle that would have been a fucking out every other year or the past 5 or so years that just go right through. I mean, if the pitcher doesn't slow it down, right up the middle, base hit. Whereas before that was an out every fucking time because they'd have the shortstop standing right behind second base. It's been great. These rule changes have been nothing but a good thing for baseball, and I think it'll bring in a younger audience, a better audience too. I think it's good.
Gonna have to drink our beers faster if the games are gonna be 2 hours.
Yeah, that's a big issue. That is a major issue. Fuck, get in there. Well, fucking Dodger fans won't even get a drink because they don't even get to the game till the fucking inning anyway. So they'll walk in, grab a beer. By the time they get to their seat, it's the seventh inning. They can't get a second one. So typical, though.
So Chris, Joe mentioned overs, right? I mean, there's more hits, there's more steals. You still have the extra inning disaster.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Can you even bet unders, Chris? Because you love unders. Can you even get there?
I was going to text the guys today. I mean, you got the A's and the Guardians. They had no runs through 5. You're like, I'm fucking golden.
No.
2-2, 4-2. Goes to extras, 6-4 final. The 8's dead. And yeah, it's tough, man. Even the Angels Mariners, I think that one was low. You're looking 7, and it's looking under. They scored 2 each in the top of the 7th. It lands on 7, so kiss your sister with the push. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. Matt, you and I text each other like when all those games in the March Madness and NBA were like, you have to be a Viking walking to your death, and knowing you might not come out of there betting unders on all these games. They're making it more easier for the offense to score. So,
dude, I mean, that's the whole point of all these rules, is to get more action. So, I mean, I'm kind of trying to avoid unders for a full game, but I would do it first 5. Haven't done it yet. I'm just picking and choosing my spots. Like, Fade Corbin today was the easiest bet of all time. Gave up 6 earned, and
it's a good point.
And then also not forgetting the Mets got shut pieced back-to-back games, and then I bet their team total today, and they scored 6. So they've lost the game, but hey, fuck it, we won the bet. There's just a lot of spots you can find like that with baseball that you got to be willing to. What's the phrase, Chris? Shot of whiskey and a revolver.
Oh, yeah, whiskey and a revolver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to let these things settle in. Maybe I know Matt and I were going to announce some fun things we're going to do with baseball, but let it settle in because maybe these things get inflated. Instead of 9s and 9.5s, you might get 10s and you can get some value. But I mean, Boston was looking like a super over team, and they've had back-to-back 4-1. So you're thinking, oh my God, they're scoring 10, 12, 13 every game. Now against the Pirates, they just went 4-1, 4-1. Way under the 9.5. So it's like, what are you going to get?
Wow, man. Favorites raped today. So, I mean, we got to look at the doggies tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's a dog day, Chris.
I was going to ask you, Joe, do you think, I mean, at what point do the books start to adjust the totals, right? If they're going to keep flying like that?
Well, I don't know overall if they're flying. I think they're split 50-50 today. I know Monday was crazy. It's 14-1, but maybe they've already adjusted. It's just, it's hard, man. For me, I'm more geared towards team totals, kind of just eliminate more variables than I need to deal with. So, but yeah, unless it's a over full, but yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't know what the books are going to do with those numbers. We can look at the spread. We can look at the differentials and see where they're being bet, because I'm sure most people know this and are betting overs.
For sure. Yeah, we'll have to see what they do with that as the season settles in. Obviously, still really, really early. Kmart, any Dodgers run line? How the Doys looking so far?
So my only handicap on baseball is every time Urias pitches, Dodgers money line and run line. So far 2-0. Contract year, he ain't coming back. So I think he's gonna go Cy Young or nothing if he stays healthy. So that's literally the only thing I'm betting myself this season. When he starts, I'm throwing it down. Otherwise, I'm just being a degen, following Ariel's K props when they're out. Haven't seen any since Monday though, so kind of losing. I just don't know what to do right now. Luckily, the Nerfy guy is 2-1 this week, so winning a little bit more, it feels good, and just following Trig here and there. But baseball, I don't follow it. I'm honestly looking forward to just not staring at lines in my computer constantly. I'm going to have so much time free up, but still excited to go to games with you, have a few beers, and see what happens with that night.
Yeah, just go to games that fucking end up being a no-hitter that Matt said he was too tired to go to. That's going to be so fun.
I would have gone if I was invited.
God.
Hey, tomorrow, Christopher, Chris Sale, Boston and Detroit. Chris Sale versus Turnbull Cock.
Spencer.
Yeah, plus 130. Home dog billionaire to be on that.
Ooh. I saw some people saying Sale's dead. DED.
Sale is dead. Should Sale be minus 155 to anybody? Minus 162 first 5. Woo-hoo-hoo! Holy shit.
Is anybody just completely terrible at the gates? I haven't really looked at the standings yet. Anybody over?
Burns.
Chris, who's scum, Chris?
Corbin Burns has been regressing to fuck this year.
Philly has been rat piss.
Philly.
They're like
Wow.
1-5, I think.
Yeah, 1-5.
Washington sucks, but we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Houston's been kind of dog shit, but they'll figure it out.
The Rays are
Yeah.
6-0.
Wow.
Yeah, the Rays are coming out hot. They've been benefit of playing the Nationals the last.
How long will the Angels stay above 500?
Talk about whiskey and a revolver. Thanks, Nationals, for being up 2 or 3. We're catching a run and a half, and you give up fucking
Finnegan.
5 in the top of the 9.
Dude, that was terrible. Man, I was thinking we had that win. I was just like, motherfucker.
Thanks. What was his name? What's his name, Matt?
Finnegan.
Thanks, Finnegan.
Finnegan. Poor old Michael Finnegan. Begin again. You guys know that song?
Sometimes
Man, we got
when
some
you bet
pitchers on
poop,
that
right,
Nationals
Chris?
team, huh?
Oh my God, Corbin opening day, just unbelievable.
Dude, I just love baseball. I'm so happy it's back.
All right, baseball's back very early, but we're going to definitely talk a lot of baseball over our spring and summer season here. So one last thing we want to get to on today's show is today's Wednesday, April 5th. By the time people listen to this, the Masters may have started. We want to talk a little Augusta. It is absolute best. For me personally, this is Masters weekend. Guess where I'm going to be Monday? Actually, all next week.
Where?
Not at work.
Oh,
So Masters weekend into spring break. That is the dream.
Ooh, yeah, we better get our round in then, boy. You sort of get that round in.
That is
and
the dream.
dude, Matthew James, you're gonna be fucking, dude. I think they're gonna play 36 on Sunday because of the rain.
Yeah, it might be a Monday finish.
Matthew James might be slightly intoxicated Sunday night.
Perhaps. Perhaps. So, all right. The weather is obviously something a lot of people have been talking about. I've heard a lot of talk on previews. We have live at the Masters going on in the background here. People have talked about possibly wet conditions, muddy conditions. Guys with carry are going to be better because you're going to get less roll. What else have I heard? A lot about the weather. And it might be like a grinder this week. Somebody that is just going to hack it around in some less than ideal weather. Joe, you put out some of your picks today. You want to go through some of those and run through kind of what you have envisioned for how this tournament might play out?
Yeah, my outright winners, Hey Now, Finau, plus 2,200. I just think he's finally figured it out this past season. Won a few tournaments, and then he's been good at the Masters he's got 3 top 10s. He's fucking solid there. He knows how to get around that track. I think Finau's a good value there. I did top live golfer, which was kind of a cool bet our book had. Cam Smith plus 450. I mean, really, he's only going to go up. Realistically, DJ and Brooks are the only 2 that are going to be major competition for him. And then Homa versus Cam Young, just fading Cam Young a little bit. And then lastly, I'm doing Brooks over Burns because Burns has been dog shit, but he figured it out in the last couple tournaments. And I think Brooks is in good form right now. And I love the narrative that everybody's like, fuck the live golfers, fuck the 18 guys that are playing the Masters. All these like fucking golf purists are like, oh, fuck live, blah, blah, blah. I just want to fade that narrative because I know that's baked into the line and take some live golf matchups head to head. I'm going to fire a bunch of head to head matchups after the first day. But yeah, I'm definitely going to look at the live golfers if they come out and start firing to ride some of them because people love to fade them.
I couldn't disagree more. I think I love that Brooks won this weekend and everyone's, oh, Brooksy's playing well again because he beat Phil Mickelson and Louis Oosthuizen and a bunch of guys no one's ever heard of in a live tournament at a Muni in Orlando. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I love the narrative that I'm probably going to bet Brooks to miss the cut. I think
I'm not talking like I mean, Brooks specifically, yeah, you could fade that narrative for sure. But I'm just saying the overall live golfers in general, everybody wants to fade every single one of them. And I feel like
I do.
I think there's going to be value, dude, because that's the narrative. Like these guys only play 3 rounds. They fucking haven't played real competition. But
well, they haven't. Their tournaments are a joke.
That's true, but like these guys are fucking still.
Can they still hit the
PJ's
ball?
Still a top 5 player in the world. Cam Smith was number 1 before he left the fucking tour. Brooks
Cam Smith is the one I wouldn't, but I think some of these other clowns like Bryson, I'm betting Bryson to miss the cut. It's terrible odds.
Well, Bryson's
Bryson's
never finished in the top 25 at the Masters. He struggles there all the time. He sucks at Augusta.
So I'm with the narrative that the live guys, I mean, it is human nature. When you take the bag, when you choose money over competition, it is human nature you've lost something. And these guys are playing Mickey Mouse tournaments at God knows where, or Orlando Muni Golf Club. Like, are you kidding me? That's live golf. So I personally think that the live guys are I mean, Sergio to miss the cut. Some of these clowns I think is a good bet, in my opinion. I'm all aboard the live isn't real golf narrative for the most part.
Dennis is riding all the live.
Well, good. That means it's going to win because Dennis is a fucking winning bettor now. So
he's got Phil
in case you forgot,
and Sergio to win outright. I'm at 25 to win 6 Gs. He's going to put me in a hole.
Chris and Kmart, I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts on the live guys now just turning it on, showing up at Augusta and being able to show respect.
Probably in the middle of you guys. Like, I agree with both your points, but I mean, it doesn't mean that every single live player is going to just take a massive shit. I think some of them will, which will match the narrative, but some, before last week, I was kind of thinking, maybe I'll sprinkle on Brooks. Exactly what you said. He's playing well, but it's like, I can't do that. I do like Cameron Young. I like Justin Thomas. He's not putting well, but for me, I'm like, good, he's due. I do like the Finau pick. Like that's kind of had me scratching my head all day. I didn't have him in there, but I don't know. I got a list of like 5, 6. I mean, that was 4 of them that I'm just kind of looking at. I think, 2 live golfers, but I don't know. Like, if it's going to be raining all weekend, I mean, you're still going to want a guy who can, hit it long and stick some shots and make putts. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing. And personally, I love playing in the rain. I'd rather play in the rain, fucking downpour, when no wind. I don't mind the rain. I fucking hate the wind. So,
well, you're not a professional golfer playing at fucking Augusta from 7,500 yards. So
no, I know. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying, like, I don't think rain's that big of a deal unless it comes with 20-mile-per-hour wind. Then who the fuck wants to be in that mess?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be value to at least ride a little bit of a live, not the dog shit live golfers, but the ones that actually can still play. That's going to be baked into the line because every person, especially the old fucks that are betting on this, that are going to be like, fuck live, blah, blah, blah. Rory has a huge cock. Let's fucking ride. Let's fade every live golfer. It's like, okay, cool. You can do that. But when you're laying fucking minus 250 on a fucking matchup that should be in reality minus 150, I think that's where the value's coming in. That was my whole point of that rant.
No, I will say this. I think live is a circus and just a clown show, and it's stupid. I'm very anti-live. I will say this. If it's Rory versus Cam Smith on Sunday, if it's a PGA guy versus a live guy on the back nine on Sunday, that is going to be compelling as fuck.
Yeah,
that is going to be incredible if that happens. If Brooks is in the mix and you've got like live guys that can actually win, that's the best possible outcome for any of it. That would be the best story by far. I think that would be
right.
Are they saying that they're going to have like a group of guys like they're like Storm or some bullshit?
I heard what did Middlecoff say, Joe? He's like, if Brooks missed the cut, if you think he's gonna wait around all weekend to go huddle up on the 18th green
No
with
way.
all the live guys, you are out of your mind.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would
no
love
way.
nothing more than to have like the top 5 on Sunday be like, I mean, other than Tiger, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, like Cam Smith, Rory, Scotty, Brooks, DJ, fucking
Yeah.
throw, fucking X-Man, fucking everybody, dude. That'd be sick. But yeah, dude, I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm just hoping Finau can pull his Mormon penis out and wear his beads and win a fucking Masters. That'd be sick.
I like it.
Chris, Tiger make the cut, miss the cut. You remember that from last year?
Lean, yeah. I don't
That
know.
was great odds.
Do we fade him this year or what? I know that a couple sharps said there's a little value in.
Dude,
getting
I
him.
saw you can bet Tiger versus Phil. What's that line, Chris?
Oh, Phil's a joke.
Yeah.
Phil might
Matthew,
get
what's that
last.
line, Matthew? I know what it is. So what's
You know
that
what it
line?
is? What? I mean, the whole round or
Tournament.
Tournament?
Tiger 175.
Chris.
Tiger 165.
Kmart.
I don't know. Probably this is to miss the cut, right?
No, Tiger versus Phil, straight up
Oh,
tournament.
for Phil, my bad. Shit.
Phil looks
I don't
like
know.
a corpse.
What's 125? Like, I don't know. I'd take Tiger all day.
It's Tiger minus 140, which I thought was kind of I think that's just one of those little dangly lines, man. It's a little scary.
A little low.
Which is
That's interesting.
what I was talking about was there's gonna be value on live guys, even though Phil sucks and looks like he's dead.
Yeah. We'll see. That's the whole bait versus poop thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say Cam Smith might have a little value, like Joe said. I mean, okay, he fired up. He was one of the best in the British. He leaves.
He won the last fucking major.
Right.
He won the British.
We know that he's one of the best short game guys, chipping and putting. I mean, look at all those putts he made in at St. Andrews. And we're getting him. I just put him in at 22-1. I'm like, fuck it. He has a top 2 here, top 5 here, the top 3 maybe. He's always in the mix. He blew it against Scotty. But dude, I'm gonna take. I like Cam Smith. I'm gonna lean more towards matchups and fade spots. Like if some guy comes up, some no name fuck fires a 64 on Thursday, and he's going against like a guy and he's like, again, a dangly line, like minus 125 against someone who had like a 73 on Thursday. I'll for sure be sniffing some of those lines out. But Cam Smith, I think, is a decent little shot. I mean, you're going to give me, it's kind of like UConn. You're going to give me someone over 20-1 who's we know can go out and play this course. He seems like he loves this course and wants to get one eventually. So I took a shot at it.
Yeah, and how long is he going to be able to play this fucking tournament?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll cement forever if he can win it, right?
Yeah, if he wins it, then he's good.
The only one I have is from the end of January. I have Homa at 65-1.
Man, I was thinking.
I like
about
it.
Love that. He's 30.
Yeah,
I just looked at 30-1. See, like I said, Matt, Cam Smith, the downside is Homa has been, we know Homa's legit. He's out there winning fucking tournaments and shit. Cam Smith, everyone's like, what is he? What is he ready for this? He's over, like you said, on playing munis and shit. Like, is he ready?
No, he's
Homa's
legit.
ready.
He's the one dude.
I mean, Cam Smith was the 54-hole leader, dude.
Yeah.
He's ready. It's just, it's just a different level of competition, but that shit's there. It's not like it's not like he forgot how to play.
We were breaking down in our group chat last night the champions dinner photo. We were reminiscing about the just godlike photo of Hogan and Arnie with their darts just standing there. I mean, that might be the coolest other than maybe Jordan sailing through the air. That might be of Hogan and Arnie. That might be the coolest picture, just in terms of pure looking cool. That's
Oh,
Those
dude.
guys are gods.
It looks like
Just
they have their like
smoking art.
3 woods or drivers just waiting, like
Yeah.
maybe waiting for the fairway to clear. Like, hey, you
Yeah.
want to just fire one real quick?
Unbelievable.
There's probably like a million of those of John Daly doing the same shit, or teeing off with a dart in,
With a
Which-
dart in.
which those guys were not.
And talk about someone who has, I mean, we should get Matt a fucking trophy for that one, for that CLV. That's crazy that you got 60 something to 1.
That's pretty
Now,
good.
almost firing down. It's great value.
Well, talking about darts too. Remember last year when we were talking to Masters, Brooks always puts a fat dip in when he plays, and he's fucking spitting all over the fairways. I'm like, dude, that's so fucking badass. You know he's gonna do that.
I think when DJ got to the practice, he took it, and I saw him like kicking it away, like so it would like disintegrate because it like clumped together.
I love that shit. That's fucking badass.
God, it's still, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow, get to work, take a peek at the scoreboard, see who's like 3 under out the gate real quick. And it's on. It's so good. And I think Chris makes a great point. The tournament, after each round, the next round matchups at a course like Augusta are really, really good to look at. So we'll see if we can fire a few of those out there for the followers. Speaking of followers, we're going to wrap this one up, guys. Dave just showed up, Chris. He's looking for Hammer Poop. What's Hammer Poop on? Anything?
Hammer Live, Hammer Poop, Cam Smith, hairpiece. We should have wore our hairpieces. Fuck, I should go find it.
Go find it. Dig it out of the trash. Or
I put mine
Where
on
do you
when
keep
Cam
all your
Smith
shit?
won the Open. Remember?
Yeah, you need the blonde one.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get out of here. Joe, we're gonna have Chuck on soon.
Yeah. Shout out
Possibly
Chuck
next
Goldberg. I gotta fucking.
So
I'll DM him right now.
yeah, we're gonna get Chuck on. We're gonna talk about all these fucking handicap. Everybody's a handicapper now, so we're gonna talk about that with Chuck. That's gonna be great. Stay tuned to the Fade U Pod. Subscribe to the pod. Make sure you like the video on YouTube. Subscribe to that as well. We appreciate you guys so much. Chris, remind everybody what happens sometimes when you bet on poop.
Your pitcher might give up 6 earned every time he goes out.
Corbin.